What's up everybody? How's everybody doing? It's been a long time since I've made any videos or I've talked to you. So I asked some questions from people on my Instagram, and one of those questions was what is important, or how to make progress with weighted calisthenics. So what he mean with that is, how can you improve weighted pull-ups and weighted dips. That's what I see weighted calisthenics under. So today I just want to give you a few tips what will help you improve your weighted calisthenics, what makes you progress all the time, and what keeps you safe, and just what you need to remember when programming and training for it. So, as you guys know, if you guys know me, if you guys followed me since the beginning, you know that my weighted dip and my weighted pull-up was always pretty similar. My best weighted dip is 110 kilo for 3 reps. Also, it was 80 kilo for around 20 reps, 50 kilo for around 40 reps. But at that same time, my pull-ups were always around the 80-90 kilo range. 90 kilo is my max pull-up what I've ever done, the heaviest pull-up I've ever done. I think 70 kilo for 4, I think 60 for 10, 40 maybe around 15, something like that. Yeah, so the numbers were always pretty similar. So that's the first thing you need to think about, is training them at the same time, or not, don't have to be in the same workout, but you need to make sure you're training them the same amount of volume. Because when we think about structural balance, we need to make sure that the opposite movement or opposite muscle groups from that exercise we do. So for example, if you're doing weighted pull-ups, the opposite movement of that is a overhead press. Or so it can be military press, or it can be handstand push-ups, for example. But as you guys also know, I always like to do military press, and the reason is because with the military press you can really see what numbers you are hitting, and so you can really see what you have to work on more. So if your weighted pull-up is, for example, 100 kilo, and your military press is, let's say, 80 kilo, that means that your press is far weaker, and that same weakness will tell your body, basically protect itself, or stop going any heavier in the pull-up, because there's too much underdevelopment in the opposite muscle groups. So this will give warnings to the body, to the nervous system, so directly you will be unable to create the force you want, or the central nervous activation you want in the exercise. But also because of the imbalances in the muscle groups, the joints and the joint, the shoulder girdle, the rotator cuff muscles, they will also get a big warning sign and will get weak. Just because there is a big weakness, those muscles will take it over, and because of weakness, you get just an overload on a certain position. So it can be just one muscle from the rotator cuff, and that muscle will get overworked or can get injured very fast. So yeah, what I was saying is, so you guys know that I always did military press with my pull-ups. I always did rowing work, with my dips or anything like that. I always make sure I did a pull and a push workout throughout the week, or even on the same day. I always supersetted pull-ups with military press, or pull-ups with handstand push-ups, or dips with pull-up variation, front level work, or ring rows. That's a great, yeah, that's just a must to remind yourself that that you will never separate those two. You should always be in the same balance in the program, same volume. So yeah, even if it's you're pulling, for me, even if your pulling is far more stronger than your pushing, you should always have the same amount of volume, because when you're not training those muscles for the same amount of volume, they will get the other muscles will progress faster, and those other muscles will get underdeveloped and out of balance, if you can say. If you always work your body in balance all the time, those muscle groups will learn how can I say this? How to work together better, so they will support each other in the exercise. So that's structural balance. We always want to make sure we keep that in mind, because, like I said, it will weaken the nervous system activation. It will send a protection from the body to the nervous system and the joints. And the joints will get weaker at one point than the other. And a good rule for that is, if we can do 100 kilo dip or a 100 kilo military press, we want to make sure that we can pull around 80% of that. So if we can military press 100 kilo, we should be able, if you trained properly, to do also a pull-up with 80 kilo. Now, maybe if you guys remember, when I did 110 kilo dips for 3, my pull-up was around 85 to 90 kilo. Yeah, so always make sure to train that. Train the overhead press, guys. Even if you're doing handstand push-up, I highly recommend to do the military press, because you can really see your imbalances with those numbers. For the handstand push-ups, you cannot have a specific intensity or vision of that intensity, so you can never really say if you are in balance. Also with the handstand push-ups, there's so many ways you can do it, so many ways to make it harder. A lot of people don't know those progressions. A lot of people were never on a level, so they will be never able to really know what intensity that exercise is at right now. So it's just hard for people to recognize or measure that imbalance. So always do the military press. Military press, if you ask anybody in the strength world what is one of the best exercises, it's the military press. The reason why I had so strong pushing handstand push-ups, 90-degree push-ups, was because of the overhead press. I can guarantee you that there's many people who say you don't have to do the military press if you want to be strong as fuck, if you want to push to elite numbers faster, then you really should train the military press and really try to build it up to a really respectable number. And then again, we have to make sure we strengthen the rotator cuff. Now I recommend to train the rotator cuff muscles from all different directions, so not just from here, also with elbow down from the side, or other type of raises from other angle that will target all those muscles in balance. Now I talk more about structural balance and training the rotator cuff in my new ebook program that will come very soon. It's a 4-month program that I wrote about on how to achieve elite weighted dips. It's a program for any level, but it really is more meant for people who really want to increase their weighted dips in a healthy way to an elite number. It's for those people who already have the mindset of I really want to get on those elite numbers. Again, elite numbers are not for everybody, you know. Some people just don't have the right mindset for that. And so you really have to know what do you want, you know? What is your mindset like? What is your attitude like? For those numbers you have to be a certain type. You have to get a certain mindset for to even make the start for your training programs. So yes, the elite weighted dips ebook will be coming very soon. I'm sure I will let them know also on YouTube. Yeah, this year I would like to give more information like this about training. I also want to start seminars. So if you guys are interested in that, for seminars or workshops from me, just contact me via my email, and I really want to get started on that in this new year. There will be also a big change in the website. We will have a private forum, membership page. Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff coming. As you guys know, this last few years, 2-3 years, I really focused on rehabbing my shoulder fully and just taking it easy, making sure I take my time. I took around 2 years to rehab the shoulder, right? That's how long I dedicated myself to really take my time to fully return to optimal performance. You know, if I really want to beat myself, or if I want to be on a higher level than before, I really needed to take the time to really take care of my shoulder. Otherwise I would never achieve that, and for me then I have no reason to train. I want to train with goals. I want to get better every year, and sometimes, or most of the times when you have a big goal, injuries will happen, setbacks will happen, but it's about what can you sacrifice for it to get better. I sacrificed, well, let's not say sacrifice, I put in 2 years of hard work to get my shoulder back healthy. Now, many people think that shoulder or some injuries will take a few months to rehab, and for sure it's possible, but you need to find out so much about what you did wrong, how that injury happened, where is the injury exactly, how can I get rid of it, how can I rehab it, how can I prehab it, how to avoid injury in the future. So I had to really just rebuild my body again, learn more about myself, and build a body in balance. If you follow my Instagram, you also know that learning Olympic lifting by myself is just, again, another goal, another goal for me to achieve. The reason is maybe not to get really big numbers with Olympic lifting, but I just want to learn something new so I can have a different view on training. It will definitely help me, make me look in a different way, from a different angle, to people, to clients, also at myself. So the experience I get from Olympic lifting, just worth it to even try and learn, teach yourself new movements. That's what I always recommend everybody. Even in the old days, I can remember that I called out some people on always doing high reps, calisthenics with shitty form. So sometimes I recommended those people to maybe do a little bit more work with rings or work more on complex movements. But you know, because that will make them learn something new. It will open their body to new ways, new stimulations. It will also be just a great carryover to all the other movements because you'll learn new stuff. And definitely when you work with more complex movements, it just builds that mindset and that body awareness in such high level. You cannot compare gymnastic movements, for example, with basic dips or bodybuilding work. The complexity of those movements and the feelings, what you have to know. Yeah, just that mind-body connection is totally on another level. If we're doing bodybuilding work, we are just feeling our chest, for example, you know, trying to really squeeze that. That is just a single muscle that bodybuilders will connect to. But for complex movement like 90-degree push-ups or flips, handstands, front level work, muscle ups, iron crosses, planche work, 180-degree pulls on the rings. I mean, those movements will fire your body from all angles at the same time, and that will just open your mind and body to such more greatness that you can use for your other trainings. Yeah, so when I recommended that to people, they get butthurt, and still until this day, this is around 8 to 10 years ago, they're still doing the same shit, you know? I was always a guy to challenge myself with training, always in new ways. If I just achieved something, I always looking to get something else. I'm sure you guys know that even from the beginning in calisthenics world, I always was pushing those limits, those numbers that just most numbers that I put out is not achieved yet by people, and that can show you that by working on more challenging movements or making sure you have structural balance in both ways, in both areas, in high reps, low reps, complexity, I always combine it, you can really achieve those high numbers. There is not many people on this planet right now that have reached those numbers, and there's only that few people who get there, and most of the time it's people who use a combination of more things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, there will be more stuff coming on littlebeastem.com. My training is going well. I will start to upload more videos for sure. Make sure to just keep your eye out on my website. More stuff coming there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram. Just littlebeastem. I post more often there, also training videos. And also let me know what you guys want to see in the next video. Ask some questions and I will answer them in the video. Hope you have a nice Christmas. And for the new year, let's try to achieve something far more greater than before. Don't get stuck in the same way. Move forward. Peace.